Welcome to Wednesday. It's the 25th of November 2020. As we head on into the Thanksgiving holiday travel period coming on up, we're going to be kind of lucky out here as there really isn't going to be much happening. And that's going to be true through the weekend as well. We have a splitting Pacific storm. If the storm could hold together, it would be a big weather maker, but it's not. It's going to break into two pieces. That's going to eliminate any widespread bad weather. It's looking cool. Fairly quiet through the weekend into early next week for most areas. Temperatures are going to be cool. They're not going to be cold, but they're going to be November cool. Now, the most active weather stays to our east, short term and long term. We may have some colder weather move in the middle of the next week, but we're going to see a lot of stormy weather east of us. And when the weather is stormy in the central and eastern United States, we're not. And we'll show you that here in a minute. Here's today's map. You can see the next approaching trough coming in from the Pacific Northwest today. Here's yesterday's system heading into the Great Lakes in New England, bringing areas of rain and cooler weather there. But as we progress, see how the storm breaks into two pieces right here. This will head off to the east. This is going to get stuck down in northern New Mexico and southern Colorado. And when you stretch these storms apart, you just remove any energy. But what you do have is some colder air and a little bit of moisture that's going to sneak in. So there is going to be a little winter weather. Later today and tonight into tomorrow morning, there is going to be a little bit of light snow over southern Montana, far northern Wyoming, Yellowstone Park, Jackson, the western mountains of Wyoming. We'll get into some snow tonight and tomorrow, as well as the Idaho mountains and parts of the Pacific Northwest. The Wasatch will see some snow showers and flurries as well as the north central Colorado mountains. But if you look at the plains, well, there's nothing because the storm is splitting into two. Here's the southern part of the split, parts of northern New Mexico, far southern Colorado. Thursday into Friday and into Saturday, we'll see a little bit of light precipitation. But really, that's it with that splitting storm. And you can see by Saturday, we've got the low over New Mexico here. The rest of that low that broke off is all the way into the upper Great Lakes and moving away. And notice how the jet stream is flattening out. The main jet stream is flattening out, so generally milder Pacific air comes in for Saturday. But this little ripple right here will slide in Sunday, dropping a cold front in, and that's going to make it a little bit colder for Sunday. But there's not going to be any precipitation. Now by Monday, look at this deep low in the Midwest in the Great Lakes. Going to be a lot of weather here early next week. They're going to see their first major snow event in the Great Lakes and some really cold air with this system. We do have this little guy right here coming in Monday night into Tuesday, and it's going to come in like this. And what that will do is it will drag in some colder air for the middle of next week. And there you have it. That is the low. See that guy right there? Same one that's right here. And basically, it tries to come in and merge with this same trough. And what it will do is it will drag in some colder air. Notice the air trajectory coming up out of central Canada. This isn't terribly cold air up here, but the middle of next week may bring some colder temperatures, may bring a little bit of light snow. But you can see the basis of the trough, the really active weather, is going to be to our east. We've got a high pressure ridge building along the west coast. Here's that colder air that could come in on Wednesday. So we may see a shot of colder air come in behind that system. But precipitation wise, look at all the orange and red here. This is where all the action's going to be in this part of the USA here, with rain and snow and stormy colder weather. The Pacific Northwest will still catch an onshore flow, but the nation's midsection, as you can see, there's just not going to be much happening in this zone here for this weekend and into the early parts of next week, other than that colder air coming on in around Wednesday. And look at the long-range charts for next weekend. We have a big high along the Pacific Northwest coast, a big trough in the eastern areas of the United States. So in our neck of the woods, folks, boy, yes, we've got a northerly flow, but that is just going to keep our temperatures cool, but we're not going to have any significant precipitation. So we may have a stretch of weather here next week and into next weekend where there's just really not much weather, other than that cold front that could come in midweek. Longer term, though, I think that's going to change. As we take a look at the long term, we do see the trend with our Arctic oscillation showing some signs of going near negative or lower in the long term that might very well bring us colder weather after next weekend. But until then, folks, we are looking at fairly quiet Thanksgiving weather through the Thanksgiving weekend. We will update you on Thanksgiving morning. Otherwise, have yourself a good Thanksgiving, and we'll see you tomorrow.